Next on Worcester News tonight, celebrating the nation's birthday, dozens become citizens at Old Sturbridge Village. Plus, a 4th of July tradition in Rutland. Thousands line up for an Independence Day parade. Good evening. Thanks for joining us. I'm Olivia Lemon. More on those stories in a moment, but we start in Douglas tonight, where firefighters from several area towns battled a 3-alarm fire this evening. Douglas Fire Chief Kent Vincent says it appears to have started in the 3rd floor of the home. No one was home at the time of the fire. The home is a multifamily 3-story building. No injuries were reported. The fire chief says the heat made fighting the fire a challenge, but crews were able to put it out in about 30 minutes.
It came in as smoke and fire from the roof when the call was called in. So we knew we had a good working fire. Upon arrival, there was fire venting out on the 86 side of the 3rd floor, already through the roof. Quick 360 of the building. There was no gas or anything like that. All occupants were out of the building, as Chief Foley told me. He was here prior to me.
The cause of the fire is under investigation. A young woman has died after a car accident in Milford. She and a group of friends were heading to a fireworks show. The driver told police her vehicle was having mechanical issues moments before the crash. Our Michael Rosenfield has details from the scene.
It was a terrible scene, a car full of teenagers, the driver losing control on Congress Street, hitting a telephone pole and then crashing into a parked car.
I didn't even see the car go across the yard. I saw the telephone pole explode. The transformer just went. And then everybody was screaming. And I went flying out. And they were all out there.
Police say 6 teenagers were in the car, ages 17 to 19. They were headed to the Milford fireworks show.
They were a little late and they may have been in a rush, according to what the driver said.
But the driver also told police she was having issues with the car, a 2003 Ford Explorer.
The driver states that she experienced mechanical trouble with the brakes and the car not being able to steer. And so at a slight curve in the road, the car went straight across the opposite side of the road to a telephone pole, front yard, and into a car parked in the driveway.
19-year-old passenger Jackie Gray was killed. Her brother and 4 others in the car had minor injuries. Moments before the crash, the driver told everyone to jump out because of the problems she was having controlling the vehicle.
Some of the people we spoke to that were in the car said, well, we thought about it, tried to, couldn't get the seatbelt off, it happened too fast.
The driver did jump but survived. Jackie was found outside the vehicle, but it's unclear if she jumped out prior to the crash. The accident happening just a couple of doors down from Jackie's house.
Jackie's mom was there, and her dad. Jackie's mom's a nurse. She's a good lady. It's hard.
Investigators spent most of the day today here at the crash site trying to reconstruct the accident itself to try to figure out if any charges should be filed against the driver. In Milford, Michael Rosenfield, Worcester News Tonight.
Today, we celebrate our nation's independence, and for dozens of immigrants, it's the day they are celebrating becoming American citizens. A naturalization ceremony was held this morning in Sturbridge. Our Andy Madison has the story of one woman's journey.
It was a special day for Teresita Santos.
This is my certificate. I'm certified American citizen now.
With her family in the crowd, she was officially sworn in as a U.S. citizen at a naturalization ceremony in Sturbridge.
I'm so happy because I am U.S. citizen now.
I petitioned her to come over, me and her mother, and she's here, and this is one of my proudest days.
I was so nervous to her name be called. And too nervous and even start shaking and cry when they call her name.
Santos has lived here for 10 years, coming to America from the Philippines. Today, she was among more than 140 people from several dozen countries who became American citizens at Old Sturbridge Village.
It was very moving to see all these people take the oath of citizenship and become Americans for the very first time. This is a totally appropriate and especially wonderful place for people to have a lifelong memory of the time that they became American citizens.
Similar ceremonies are taking place on the 4th of July holiday across the country. And in central Massachusetts, it seems fitting to have it in an area that prides itself on preserving New England's history. Santos's sister Priscilla has been through the ceremony herself, and today is so proud that Teresita can also experience it.
For all the people that become an American citizen today, I congratulate them and welcome them to America, as I am an American citizen.
Andy Madison, Worcester News Tonight.
Car enthusiasts spent part of their 4th of July holiday in Worcester for the city's annual classic car show. Green Hill Park was packed with all kinds of classic models. Today was the last day for the Cars of Summer event, which kicked off on Saturday. The annual car show brings classic car lovers from all over New England to the area every summer.
My favorite kind of cars are the hot rods. I like the older stuff. You know, it's one of those things I always wanted when I was a kid. And it's like, I like to tell my buddies that I couldn't enjoy the 60s back in the 60s because I didn't have any money. So I had to wait till I was well into my 60s to finally enjoy the 60s.
In recent years, the car show has shifted its style to focus more on classic car models. Worcester has a few special links to our nation's independence. It was among the first places where the Declaration of Independence was read. Almost 140 years ago, publisher Isaiah Thomas became the first person to read the Declaration in Massachusetts. A stage was delivering the document to Boston in July of 1776 when it stopped in Worcester. It's when Thomas read the Declaration of Independence aloud for residents of Worcester to hear. A large crowd lined Main Street in Rutland for the town's annual 4th of July parade. It's a big show bringing families together in the small town. Our Brittany Schaefer has the story.
This is going to be the awesomest parade on earth.
Thousands gathered on Main Street in Rutland for their 68th annual 4th of July parade.
The parade is excellent. I mean, it's one of the best parades around, and there's so many people here.
The police will go by, the firemen will go by.
For many at the celebration Monday, this parade is a part of their 4th of July tradition.
I have relatives that live in town, and I would say probably 30 years we've been coming here.
It's a tradition. I mean, I started back when I was probably 6 or 7 years old, riding a pony in the same parade.
Mark Campbell has been announcing the parade for 20 years. His father had the job before him for more than 20 years. He says this year the parade was bigger than most.
I thought a lot more floats this year than we've had in recent history.
Campbell says this parade means so much to Rutland because it's a small community with a big heart.
Just being from a small town, having everybody come together. There's people that come down from Vermont, from New Hampshire.
I feel happy because no one really knows Rutland. It's like a small town, but like the more people come here, it just gets better. Happy 4th of July!
Brittany Schaefer, Worcester News Tonight.
Shrewsbury is one of the many towns in central Massachusetts celebrating the nation's birthday. Family and friends gathered at Dean Park Monday to join in on the fun. A decorated bike parade kicked off the day at Dean Park in Shrewsbury.
We always do it on the 4th of July, which we think is important to actually celebrate the actual holiday, and it's a nice time for families to come together with their neighbors.
Parks and Recreation put on the annual 4th of July event Monday. Dozens gathered to play volleyball, jump on the inflatable amusement park, and eat food.
We're just celebrating this beautiful country, and we're so happy to be part of it.
Boy Scout Troop 114 in Shrewsbury were also celebrating their 100th anniversary. The troop was selling hamburgers and hot dogs to raise money for camping trips.
We camp every month. We go on high adventure trips every year, carry a lot of gear around in trailers and tents and all that kind of stuff. So all the money that we can raise to help the troop kind of continue to grow is wonderful.
Scoutmaster Rick Spur says community and patriotism is a big part of scouting. Spur and the leaders teach the Scouts the importance of celebrating America's independence.
July 4th is a big day celebrating our independence. We want to make sure that we're giving the kids the history behind it and what's great about the United States.
It's about remembering remembering our freedom and signing of the Declaration of Independence.
And Monday's weather was perfect to celebrate the nation's birthday.
We lucked out with the weather, thank God.
Absolutely gorgeous weather, crystal clear skies, beautiful sunshine. It's just right, so it's a perfect day to get out and celebrate and have a good time today.